Friends, hello everyone, I'm glad to see you on my channel. This time we have a very interesting video topic. Today I would like to earn $10,000. To do this, I'll be using a deposit of $100 and my trading skills. I'll also need the pocket option broker for this. By the way, I'll leave a link to it in the description. You'll also find a link to my Telegram channel in the description. Well, let's take a look. What do we have? I'll be using a 1 minute or 15-second time frame. That's up to my discretion. Next, I'll also use it on the chart, a 15-second time frame with the same expiration time. And I'll be trading with all the money. So if we have $100, that means my bet will be $100. I also use two indicators. The first is the RSI and the second is the MACD. These are my two favorite fundamental indicators. So, shall we get started? Let's move on to the first currency pair and the first trade. In this case, I'll be trading the currency pair British pound to Canadian dollar. Here, I'll enter a buy position, and while we wait for the expiration time, let me explain my decision. First of all, we can see that the RSI line is below the 50 mark. We also see that the MACD line is crossing the signal line. And this movement is happening, as we can see from the bottom up. That's why I entered the trade in this case. Also, friends, pay attention. There is a very strong level here. Here it is. You can see it clearly with the naked eye. So in this situation, I'm expecting at least a local pullback from this level. Let's see how our trade ends up. Also note, friends, I don't enter trades where the payout is low. That is at a minimum. I look for trades where the payout is $85 to $90. Sorry, 85 to 90% of the invested amount. Great, this trade was a win for us, so let's move on to the next one. Now, on our screen, we have the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. Here, I'm going to take a sell position. Let me remind you, we're trading with the full amount. So we enter at 85.83, and now we wait for the expiration. Let me explain my reasoning. First of all, we see a very strong level here that we couldn't break through before. The price bounced down from it. And accordingly, in this case, I'm also expecting the same, a move downward. And we can also see that the RSI is showing us a strong overbought condition. The MACD line is about to cross the signal line from above downward. So accordingly, I think we should take this trade. Let's see what happens. Of course, I could be wrong. Let's see how it turns out. In any case, it's an interesting experiment. Just a little bit left until expiration. We'll have the result soon. Just 5 seconds left. Excellent. We now have $312 in our account. So let's move on to the next trade. Now I'll pick the next currency pair. All right, friends, let's continue. In this case, I'm going to enter a buy position. Oops, sorry, I accidentally didn't enter with the full amount. But that's okay, we'll fix it right now. I ended up making 5 trades by mistake. Let's take a look. Well, that's how it turned out. We've doubled our amount. Well, almost doubled. We now have $600 in the account. Let's move on to the next trade. Honestly, because our expiration time was so short, I didn't even have time to explain, but that's okay. Let's keep going. So, let's move on to the 5th trade. I started using a short expiration time so as not to drag out this video. Here, I'm going to enter into this position with the full amount, the total sum of $599. I'm going to execute a sell order right now, and the expiration time is set for exactly 15 seconds. This is going to be a very quick trade, so let's wait and see exactly how it closes. Great, it closes in profit. I did it because I see a clear resistance level, and I see the RSI bounced off the upper boundary. Also, the signal line is crossing the MACD from top to bottom. But in this case, you already understand my logic, so let's move on to the next trade. Euro to British pound. Right now, I am going to open a sell here for 15 seconds. I can clearly see a strong resistance level forming on the chart, and I also notice the RSI indicator is approaching the 70 mark. This indicates that the asset is currently in an overbought condition. Because of these factors, that is why I have decided to enter a sell trade at this moment. Great, we already have $2,200 in the account, so let's move on to the next trade. I'll pick it now. Friends, here's our next trade. And here the Senway RSI is near the 30 zone and the MACD signal line is crossing the red line from below upwards. In this case, I see a strong oversold condition, so I'll go all in on a buy with an expiration time of 15 seconds. Everything happens very quickly, so let's watch how our trade closes and see what comes out of it. Excellent, we already have $4,220 in the account. That was our 9th trade, and now let me pick the next trade and we'll keep trading. Again, friends, we're in this together. Here's the next trade. The risks are already very high. We're looking at the currency pair, the British pound against the Australian dollar. The RSI is hovering near the upper boundary, indicating overbought conditions. On the MACD, we see the RSI. The histogram is green and growing. So in this case, here's what I suggest. First, let's trade with $3,000 and take a sell position with a 15-second expiration. So, a $3,000 sell trade. Let's see how this turns out. Let me remind you, friends, this is our 10th trade and we're getting close. Very close to our goal. Great, we already have $7,000 in the account. So let's move on to the next trade, the 11th trade. Australian dollar to the New Zealand dollar. Here, I'll take a sell position, entering a trade for a decline. The RSI shows overbought conditions, the MACD line, the histogram is red, and the signal line is about to cross the red line from above downward. So I entered this kind of trade here. Awesome, friends, we've got almost $9,740 in the account. Let me remind you, we started with $100, but our goal was $10,000. We're just a little bit short of it. So let's probably lock it in with one more trade, Euro to the British pound. There's a strong oversold condition and here comes the rebound, so I'll enter before it's too late. The RSI is starting to bounce off the lower boundary. The green signal line is about to cross the red one. We also see a greening on the histogram, and here we see a strong rebound from the level. That's why I'm entering a buy here. And friends, hooray, it all worked out. I think we've successfully finished this marathon for today. We've wrapped it up successfully today. It probably took no more than 15 seconds. Of course, it was risky, but skill prevails. I hope you agree with me. Let me remind you, we started with $100 and now we have $12,500 in our account, and all of this we achieved together. We managed to do it together in, well, probably no more than 15 minutes just now. Let me make a withdrawal right in front of you so you don't think this is some kind of demo money or that I'm trading and trying to deceive you. This is real money, and let's take a look. I always use in my calculations Tether TRC20. I'm going to withdraw the entire amount, that's $12,500, and now I'm entering my cryptocurrency wallet. The amount, continue here. Great. The payment has been sent and will be credited to my account. As you can see, the money was sent pretty quickly and will arrive in my account. Pocket Option is very convenient in this regard. By the way, I'll leave the link in the description. I think our marathon with you has been successfully completed. Thank you for watching. The link is in the description. I'll also leave a link to my Telegram channel. There you'll find interesting free signals, indicator settings, and much more. Friends, please check it out. Goodbye, everyone.